Hey guys, it's Miss Allison, and we are back for the next part of our mixed media piece. So what I'm going to be doing today is just drawing out the shapes that I need for my sea animal. I'm going to do an octopus. You feel free to do whichever kind of sea animal you would like, and you can change this up and do it in a different way as well. It does not matter. So I'm just turning over my scrapbook paper to the back, so that as I draw this, my pencil lines, Sharpie lines, whatever you're drawing this with, will not show up when you cut it out. So I'm just drawing the body of the octopus that I'm going to put on mine, and then we're going to do the tentacles and the arms of the octopus with other types of scrapbook paper. So think about the shapes that you need for your sea animal. If you're doing an octopus, I did the body and the tentacles, and then we're going to glue all that together in the next lesson. But if you're doing something else, just look at the basic shapes that you need to draw and think about ways that you could also incorporate that scrapbook paper maybe in your background as much as you are incorporating it in the animal itself. If you did something simple like a starfish, you might want to make some, seaweed or sea kelp or something like that to go in the background, or some coral. Either of those would be really cool pieces to add to your background. All right, so I'm going to cut this out, and then we'll work on the legs. And the way I'm going to do the legs is I'm going to do these individually. I'm not cutting out like a whole big old piece and then cutting legs off of it. I'm going to lay the body on top of the scrapbook paper, and I'm going to just kind of figure out where it needs to be so that I can get a leg on it or a tentacle on it. And I'm going to trace around the edge of the body so that I know also where to cut the end of it off. And so I'm just kind of freehanding this. I'm not really worried about, it being in any certain particular way. I'm also going to go ahead and draw another one of these, and then you can go back and add more as you need them or whatever. So I'm going to draw these out, and I'm just kind of, doing different wavy lines to create these. But you can find a picture if you want to, if you're doing an octopus. Find a picture of an octopus. I believe I have one that I was looking at when I filmed this. And then you can use that as kind of your reference. So we're going to speed this up while we cut this one out. All right, for the next part, I'm going to lay this down on a different kind of scrapbook paper, and I'm going back and kind of laying out the legs that I've already cut, and that way I can kind of see where I need more, where I want those lines to go, if I want them to curl up or curl down or kind of go out straight, whatever I want it to do, I'll be able to tell better by, laying out the previous tentacles on here, and that way I can have a better view of what I'm looking at space-wise. All right, so we're going to repeat that process one more time, just so that we have enough tentacles to have 8. And so just the same thing, we're going to lay out the previous ones that we've cut out. They don't have to be perfectly, placed on there, just so that I kind of know where they're going to be and where I need to cut this last one or two. And then we're good to go. So I'm just looking to see where, it needs to be spaced and that sort of thing. So then I can go back and draw one and know about where it's going to go. All right, so now that I have all of these cut out, in our next lesson, we're going to start laying it all out and getting it ready, gluing it down, getting the rest of our details put on, those sorts of things. So you can go ahead and kind of turn this over and start laying it out. Just remember, everything's going to be the opposite because you started out with it backwards as you were cutting it out. So just remember that before you get frustrated and can't figure out where things go. Just make sure that you've kind of mirrored it and it's going to be on the opposite side. So you've got some leeway on these. You can play around with where they need to go, that sort of thing. So go ahead and start laying this out and figuring out where you want everything to sit.